Poor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's upset that people are calling her a liar. And she also can't seem to stop lying, recently saying that Donald Trump reads more than anyone she knows. The only way that's true is if no one she knows reads at all. I've talked before about this issue of what I think is a really unfortunate rehabilitation of people's image that will happen after they leave the Trump administration or even after they simply are out of power, George W. Bush being an example of this. And one example under the Trump administration is Trump's first former press secretary, Sean Spicer, who is now seen much more positively nationally after participating in that reality show Dancing with the Stars and no longer being Donald Trump's daily liar in chief. And this is sad because, it's not about grudges or anything like that. But when people are hugely bad actors who perpetuate a disastrous agenda, run interference for it, defend a nightmarish president, and truly bad acts by that president, they shouldn't be immediately seen as funny, great people because they no longer work for the president of the United States. This brings us to Donald Trump's second former press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who, as I've been saying since the beginning, is really one of the most vile characters from the entire nightmare that has been the Trump administration. She doesn't like being called a liar. She recently said to the New York Times, quote, "I was attacked for everything, not just my performance. I was called a fat soccer mom. My kids were threatened. My life was threatened. It was a lot. I hate harping on it, but to be in the position I'm in, and to have Secret Service, that's not normal. I don't like being called a liar. The other stuff has bothered me far less." Well, one way not to be called a liar would be to stop lying constantly. She did an interview on Fox News Sunday night. She said both that she is upset people call her a liar and told the obvious, blatant, brazen, bold-faced lie that Donald Trump reads more than anyone that she knows. Now, of course, it's widely known that Trump doesn't read. There is not a single book that Donald Trump even claims to have read in the last 30 years, other than, I guess, his own book, Art of the Deal, which I doubt he actually read, and the Bible, which he definitely didn't read and mentioned only to appeal to evangelical voters during his campaign. So let's go to the video, check out what Sarah Huckabee Sanders said in this total softball, pathetic excuse for an interview for which interviewer Steve Hilton should be ashamed, but I'm sure he's not. Take a look.
I've watched this process play out so many times, sat in hundreds of meetings with the president, and the idea that he can only take in one or two bullets is absurd. I've watched him consume massive amounts of information, process it quickly,
that's one of the things,
make a decision,
what they go on about is, he doesn't read briefings and whatever. How does he
reads more than anybody I know. Every single foreign trip, we actually would laugh about the fact he has boxes upon boxes, file boxes, where he reads for hours. The rest of us want to take a break. We want to sleep. And the president works the entire time. He will spend hours on the plane reading through notes, reading through newspapers, magazines. He consumes a massive amount of information constantly.
At the end, she sort of hints at the truth, which is he's not reading. She mentions magazines. He's haphazardly paging through magazines, probably looking for pictures of himself and headlines. That's not reading, Sarah. I hate to break it to you. Maybe where she comes from or how she was raised, that counts as reading, but that's not reading in any real sense of the word. Meanwhile, she's upset that people call her a liar regularly. You're lying all the time. The reason she's called a liar is that she lies constantly, but not even in ways that are believable, in ways that are completely obviously untrue. Lies about something less well documented or that are less obviously a lie maybe could get by. But when you're lying about something that is so widespread, right? There's widespread reporting about how aides had to reduce Donald Trump's briefing to a few bullet points with a picture or a graph or a map or two. Trump, when he was presented with lots of text to read, would yell and get angry about handing documents, once reportedly saying, "These are just words, a bunch of words, it doesn't mean anything," and throwing the papers back on the table in front of him. If you're reading, you don't refer to reading material as just words. That's not something that voracious readers tend to do. And let's even go further. Trump only seems semi-literate. He seems, we've done deep dives into this, and he has limited reading ability. This is not saying that he is illiterate. What I'm talking about is when you don't read for decades, and we know he doesn't use computers, he would negotiate deals on the phones. There's no books that we can say with certitude that Donald Trump has read. When you don't read for decades, and by that I mean you sit down with at least semi-dense material, you go through it sequentially, building your knowledge of the material and integrating it, assimilating it into your pre-existing knowledge, you lose that ability. This isn't even special about Donald Trump. There's no way that the brain can maintain its ability to assimilate complex information, the kind that a president would consume under normal circumstances, if you don't do it for decades. And remember that Donald Trump's co-writer of Art of the Deal, really the writer, Trump told him stories and he wrote the book. He said the entire time that he worked on the book with Donald Trump, he never saw Donald Trump pick up a single book. He didn't see a book anywhere around Donald Trump. There's this report of Trump keeping a book of, I think it was Hitler's speeches on his bedside table. Who knows if he even actually read it? I would be shocked if he did. If Sarah Huckabee Sanders wants to stop being called a liar, stop telling obvious, brazen, demonstrable lies, and the allegations about lying all the time would stop pretty quickly.